Let's go to the great legend Sunil Gavaskar himself to get his view on the pitch controversy. Mr. Gavaskar, appreciate you joining us. Now, weighing in on the Eden pitch controversy, Indian coach Gautam Gambhir claimed there were no demons in the pitch, even as the likes of Saurav Ganguly are already raising questions over the quality of the pitch. Was it? What is your view? Do you agree this pitch was unfit for Test cricket?
No, I totally agree with what the Indian coach has said, because there were no demons in the pitch. Yes, the odd ball was going to turn on day 3. I don't think it was a pitch where you get all out for 90 runs like the Indian team did. 124 was gettable, and gettable with at least 5 wickets in hand.
But sir, you are saying that this pitch was not unfit. But the truth of the matter is, sir, right from day one, we saw uneven bounce. The pacers benefited from it. There was sharp turn. Puffs of dust were coming out from the pitch. It started crumbling from day one. How can we say that this was a good cricket wicket or a wicket fit for a 5-day Test match?
No, it didn't start to crumble from day one. Not at all. On Indian pitches, you are likely to get a little puff of dust coming, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't a pitch which was crumbling from day one, not at all. So I don't think it is something where you could say it was a bad pitch. It was just that the Indians didn't learn anything from what Temba Bavuma did. Temba Bavuma showed you somebody who plays on bouncy pitches back home, that good technique, good temperament, showing a lot of patience, playing with soft hands, not looking to jab at the ball, is something which can help you to score runs. And what did India need? India needed one batter to bat like Temba Bavuma and score 55, not out, and they would have got to 124 without a problem.
No, so it's interesting what you're saying. You're saying it's not so much about the quality of the pitch, but the quality of batting. Because let's be honest also, Mr. Gavaskar, this is the same team which was routinely scoring 400, 500 runs in every match in England just a few months ago. So they are not a bad batting team, surely.
Yes, there is an issue when the ball is doing just a little bit. The pitches in England were pretty what you would call flat pitches. Now, if you want to play Test cricket on flat pitches, fine. But if you want to play cricket where there is a little challenge, that it's not shut for the bowlers completely, that the bowlers also get a little bit of help, then you want to play on a pitch where there might be a little bit of grass, or there might be a little bit of, which will help seam movement, or there might be just a little area where the spinners can come into play. And that is what will make Test cricket far more interesting.
But sir, with due regard, the match ends up in 3 days. Now we have ended up losing in India 4 Test matches in a row against the top countries, which has not happened before. Something is seriously wrong, sir. Either the other countries are adjusting faster to such wickets, or as you said, our batsmen need to play spin better. Surely we would have been better off playing on a good cricket wicket that lasts 5 days rather than a wicket that reduces batting to a bit of a lottery. Whoever wins the toss gets a huge advantage, sir.
No. This one was not a lottery. I don't think we should be using all those terms like this was a lottery and all that, because this wasn't a bad pitch. There were no demons in the pitch. I totally agree with the Indian coach. The Indian batters in both the innings did not show the resolve to try and stick around there. Look, you've got to keep your ego in the change room. You cannot also be mentally into a space where somebody tells you, "Arey, this pitch is doing this, so you better go and smash the ball around." No. Temba Bavuma showed you how you should bat. And that is what, and I can understand sometimes, team meetings are held the previous day and you forget the next morning. But here, just an hour or two earlier, the South African captain has given you an exhibition of batting, how to bat on a pitch where there was just a little bit of turn. You saw Simon Harmer. How many deliveries did he turn? You saw Keshav Maharaj. How many deliveries did he turn? He didn't. The odd ball, yes. On day 3, you are going to get the odd ball, which is going to turn. But the point is that the Indian batters, did they show the requisite temperament. I'm not even talking about technique.
Sir.
You saw Yashasvi Jaiswal start in the second innings. Did you see the first 3 balls, the kind of shots that he attempted? 3 balls, first over. This is what you play. Eventually got out to a very good delivery. That's another matter. But this is it. So temperamentally you're told, "Arey maro," while the new ball is there, "Maro, jitna run ho jayega, maro." But that is not what Test cricket is. Test cricket. You can leave deliveries alone. You can wait for the scoreability. You can look for ones and twos. How many times are you looking for ones and twos? You can't be looking all the time for boundaries and sixes.
No, if you're saying there's a problem with temperament as much as technique, should we be making wholesale changes? Is this the IPL effect which has meant whole temperament, technique, the idea of batting time no longer exists? Should we make wholesale changes in the team?
Well, you can't make wholesale changes because that does not, send a good signal. But if you want to look at the temperament of some of the guys, and you want to then go by that. Do you think that person has got the temperament as well as the technique? If the person doesn't have the temperament or technique, and I'm not saying Jaiswal doesn't have it, maybe he didn't get it right in one game. He's a very, very talented cricketer. But his approach was, in the second innings, was the first 3 deliveries was a little bit hard to understand. They were, but I think what you really need is to look at the temperament and the technique that the others have or did not have, and therefore you want to make your decisions on that. But with a test match with just a 2 or 3 day gap, you're not going to be able to make those changes. None of the India international players played domestic cricket. But domestic cricket is where you get pitches where the ball will grip and turn a little bit because teams are trying to get points so that they qualify for the knockouts. And so you look at the domestic scorers, look at the heavy domestic scorers, and then pick them for test matches. Because they are used to playing on pitches like this. Pick them for test matches in India because they are used to playing on these kind of pitches. So pick them. But you don't pick them because you've already got an international side going. That is the thing.
You're making a very good point. Pick players based on their domestic form. Maybe for the next 2 or 3 days, these players should watch your great innings in your final test against Pakistan 1987. They can learn how to play with soft hands. The way to play on a sharply turning pitch, Mr. Gavaskar.
No, I think they have to just look at what Temba Bavuma did.
Okay.
Temba Bavuma showed how to play on a pitch where there was something. Even our bowlers, Jadeja, Akshar, did not turn every ball. The odd ball was turning. That's it. Kuldeep, yes, being a wrist spinner, can turn the ball on glass. Wrist spinners turn the ball on glass. They don't need any assistance from the pitch. But how many of Jadeja's deliveries and Akshar Patel deliveries kicked and bounced? Not many. Yes, the odd one did. They're very good spinners. That's why. But that is why I'm saying, when we're talking about the pitch, I think you should be actually talking about the batting rather than the pitch.